Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to be doing the eclipse, solar eclipse that is going through the United States for every single sign. We're really pleased to present this groundbreaking information. So, Isaac, tell us about this eclipse and how, what's the general thing that's happening in the skies with this?
Yeah, it's a very significant astrological event, and we wanted to help you guys understand how you can respond, or how you can really channel your main archetype, your main zodiacal archetype during these times. So a bit of brief introduction, and then we'll go sign by sign. So if you want to skip sort of forward to your particular sign or signs, then please feel free to do. But this intro might be helpful for everyone who's watching the video. And we're sort of doing this if you have either sun, moon, rising, or key planets in any of these tropical signs, then the explanation or the channeling for that sign should be particularly resonant to you. So we're going to come at it from an astrological and a tarot, I guess, gnosis point of view. So yeah, we hope that you can find this helpful. So let's start with the core significance of an eclipse, of a solar eclipse. So that's what's going to happen on April 8th. It'll be a total solar eclipse. So if you're in the line of totality, the sun will essentially be blocked out by the nodes, by the moon and its nodes. So in I guess more older ancient times, when we took more direct guidance, I guess, from the sky clock and from the celestial bodies, and a full solar eclipse would have been a time of disruption, almost of chaos. Would have been a disruption to the natural order of things. The sun is the perfect timekeeper. It's steady, it's consistent. It shines its light, as long as there are no clouds in front of it. It shines its light in a very consistent, orderly way, which helps us structure our lives. That's why we have tropical astrology, because we base it around the movement of the sun. And so when the sun gets blocked out, it's sort of like natural order disappears. There's chaos. There's a sort of instability about the world. And so if we take that potential for this eclipse, how would you respond? How would your sign respond to this sort of period? How would you step up and play your specific archetypal role in these times? But we're also going to bring in this idea of healing, because the solar eclipse, the sun and moon, when they're conjunct, will be exactly conjunct Chiron as well, which is the wounded healer in mythology. It concerns identifying where we are wounded, where we hold trauma, and then playing a healing role in the world based on those experiences of wounding and hurt and trauma. So combining these two things, if we have, imagining this period of instability, of disruption to natural order, how can we play a healing role? How can we use our own experiences with sort of traumatic experience or hurt to then bring about this in the world? So yeah, hopefully this is really powerful information. I'm sure it will be for people to start to prepare themselves. So shall we start with Aries, which is the tropical sign that this eclipse will be occurring in. So a pretty good place to start, I think, for sure. Aries is the ram. It is headstrong, courageous, so a role of courage. So we can see straight away, this is your Aries, you're someone who is stepping up in this time, who is being bold and courageous, and leadership, leading from the front. That's that Mars energy of taking on the world, asserting oneself, exercising willpower. So even if it means, stepping into potentially what some people might see as dangerous situations, this is the energy that you're channeling. This is the role that you play to lead. Be assertive, be confident, embody confidence when other people might be feeling doubts or vulnerabilities or wanting, overwhelmed with fear, potentially. This is when Aries steps up and says, I'm leading, I'm showing people the way, crashing through barriers as the ram does with its head. So yeah, I think sort of this healing through confidence and leadership and courage is how I see this.
So what I see for you, Aries, is that you're going to be healing the place where you're communicating This is a very powerful card, it being the king. This is like the third house. Swords has to do with that more airy. This is Mercury and Gemini. So you're going through a lot of powerful ways in where you show your dominance, where your leadership, and how you communicate. Maybe there's going to be some communication issues before and after and during, around the time of this eclipse, that open up a whole new realm of transformation for you with how you assert yourself through the ways of communication, social media. It's going to be pretty amazing how you're able to speak, changing from that eclipse. There's going to be something in you that you're able to heal. Some shadow work is going to come in. You're going to be able to heal how you think as well. You have so many thoughts that are happening, Aries. There's a lot of thinking energy. Calm the mind, center yourself, go forward from this solar eclipse, ready to tackle all of these thoughts and ground yourself and do breath work and do nervous system regulation and find a way to center yourself on what your goals are. Wake up every morning, ask yourself, what do I want to do today? Manifest your day in the morning. Write down what you want to happen so that it's not just air. You're not just the king of things that aren't happening. Make some stuff more grounded, Aries. So
I love that. Well, because Mercury will be in Aries for this eclipse as well. So you've just that's the communication side of things as well. So I love that. So yeah, so courageous communication can be one thing that Aries really takes to the bank over this period of time. Love it.
Use your intelligence wisely. That's the statement here.
Love it. Yep. So Taurus, the first earth sign. So we're sort of now moving on, now embodying that earthy energy we just had. So earth signs during a period of potential turmoil, potential crisis, they're grounding, fundamentally grounding. A sense of stability, a sense of reassurance, of connection with nature, I think in particular. And so I see Taurus as almost definitely finding solace in nature during that times, but sort of leading people back towards our alignment with the natural way of things. So if we sort of see an eclipse, the sun being darkened, being blacked out of nowhere, without warning, Taurus, the bull stable draws people back towards what the natural order is, where we find that security, that safety, that roof over our head, bringing things back to what we know works and know is true. So I really resonate with that role of you as Taurus doing that, and maybe just also bringing things back to the pleasures of life as well, not forgetting that even when things do start to be disruptive and hectic, we still have time for the good things of life, for pleasures, for comforts, and to not lose sight of the things and how important that those things are as well, to fall back to. So yeah, don't be afraid of of self-care and looking after oneself during these times, of just finding these safe spaces, these places that make us happy, whether it's in our well-decorated rooms at home, or whether it's in our local piece of bushland or nature reserve. Finding that connection with the earth and bringing things back. What I would also say, so Jupiter and Uranus will be occurring in Taurus as well. So that conjunction will be happening. It will peak at April 20th. So that's sudden optimism. So Taurus, with this conjunction happening in Taurus, you're also providing that sense of optimism and that silver lining as well. So really leaning into that sudden silver lining vibe of Jupiter Uranus.
Taurus, this is the silence before the storm. This is the place, this is the point, the precipice in your walk with the universe, in your walk with life, where you're making a choice. And this situation that is following you going to be, it is a climax during the eclipse, and afterwards is going to be a situation where you don't know, but it's going to become apparent. So search inside yourself and see what comes to the surface. Go and comment what resonates with that. What's happening with this eclipse is that this is more air energy, more thinking energy, but it's the twos, it's prevented, it's a stalemate energy. There's situations in your life that this eclipse is bringing you to heal that are going to balance two opposing forces. Maybe it's a decision, should I go here or here? You're going to be the third element. You're going to wake up and say, I am the element that is holding these two things, and they're coming to me. And so know that there's something inside of yourself that's going to give you the answer. Maybe there's a third option. Maybe it's not as dualistic as you think it is, Taurus. I know that you don't like to change. You're very strong in what you do. This right here is the goddess of wisdom. I want you to sit by a tree, sit by a nature spot, give 6 hours of time, dedicate after this eclipse, and really reflect upon what are the decisions you're making in your life? Where do you feel like you're seeing the unknown? Where do you need to discover the wisdom that'll settle this stalemate? So Taurus, we really appreciate you watching this reading. Please check out our Patreon if you'd like a deeper one-on-one reading. Isaac and I do astrology with tarot to bring out the best and most powerful information for you to live your best life. So thank you.
So Gemini, I get a very strong alignment with Aries, between the role of Gemini and the role of Aries in this. So we do have Mercury, the ruler of Gemini will be in Aries, so about like 10 degrees or so away from the eclipse. So there'll be a very strong, the Mercury vibe will be strong, and sort of this idea of courageous intelligence, maybe on one hand, but if we flip that, also bringing intellect and a rational approach towards where we're asserting our willpower and doing it in a very with intellect and reasoning behind it. So I see a very strong Gemini and Aries always have that set star, that 60 degree set star between them, so that supported role. And I see a really strong supported role harmonizing the Aries courage and the Gemini intellect and rationality, and really harmonizing those things over this eclipse period, and finding out where does this transmutation of trauma and hurt towards healing, how can it be achieved through this harmonization of Aries, Gemini, of Mars and Mercury, courageous intelligence, like rational willpower, those sort of combinations. That's what I'm seeing for you, Gemini.
So Gemini, welcome to your solar eclipse reading. This is the card that came out, the Ace of Cups. There is things in your relationship, in your emotional life that are happening. Don't get discouraged. The reason it's so dark is because you are the light. What's happening is that the things that need to come up are coming up to burn away the stagnancy in your relationships. The Aces is the most fresh energy, and the Cups is the emotions, the relationships. You're going to find yourself after this eclipse doubting the current relationships you have, because there's going to be a newness in the relationships you already have, or some new ones that this eclipse is bringing up and revealing to you. This is a very powerful season to get a therapist or to take some plant medicine and explore your emotions. See what can bring up to the surface. Get out of your head. Do what can make your heart come alive. Let the soul rule you. Dedicate yourselves to something higher than yourself, some kind of deity or energy, or even your higher self. And I think your heart will open up to you and reveal to you things that your mind is not able to see. So Gemini, we really appreciate you joining this astrology and tarot for the solar eclipse reading. If you resonated with our reading, there is our Patreon, where you can be a part of our community and you can have a personal one-on-one astrology and tarot reading with Isaac and I to get some more one-on-one insight into what's happening with you during this eclipse. So be sure to also subscribe to this channel.
So Cancer during the eclipse, Cancer providing a home. So Cancer fourth house is about an emotional security, where the Taurus was more physical, I guess physical materials security. Now we have that set style across to Cancer, which is emotional home, somewhere to find comfort, somewhere to be heard, where we can feel like we are understood, where we can experience, compassion, where there is a sense of nurture that's occurring. I think these are all Cancer qualities that will be particularly important in a time where emotions are high, emotions are triggered. Can you be, a shoulder to cry on, or an ear to listen to people who might be feeling the chaos inside of them and feeling senses of overwhelm? How can you provide that sense of emotional stability to people? So it is water. It is fundamentally to do with emotions. Very protective. What protective role can you step up to play at this time? Standing up for the home, for the homeland, for culture, for your ancestors as well. These are all things to embody Cancerians during this time.
So hello Cancer, welcome. So we got the 10 of Cups here. This tells me you have some ambitions, you have something going into this, preceding this eclipse. You have an ideal in your head. You have a destination that you've been fantasizing about, that you've been dreaming about, and you've been using your will. This is what this is telling me right here. And so you're actually being positioned through the healing and through the upheaval of what's happening on the inside of you, this transformation. You're going to be able to come closer and to actually realize the dream that the universe has given you. This is such a beautiful energy, where it is like the height of Atlantis's fall is the image of this card. This is like the Neptunian energy happening in Mars. This is a very, also a very mutable, changeable, delicate energy. This is the fruit when it is in its most perfect, ripened time. So there's an element of harmony, of emotional contentment that's happening for you. So I think this eclipse is actually extremely good for your dreams, extremely good for your emotional body. So take some time to share the joy, build the community around you. If you need to join an eco-village, join an intentional community, go and, search for it. Go and find, if you can't find people that are meaningful or deep in your life, go and create your own group. And so Cancerians, we thank you for watching this video. We really appreciate your support. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also, if you want a deeper astrology and tarot reading, Isaac and I are offering every single month one-on-one tarot and astrology reading for you by joining our spiritual community in the Patreon. Make sure to comment what in your reading resonated with you. What did you find the most surprising in this reading? And please give this video a thumbs up and support the work that we're doing.
So this is your time to shine. I mean, you're always shining. You're Leo. You are the sign of the sun, the sign of radiance, of drama, of playfulness. But especially if the sun's darkened, this is definitely your time to shine. Let's be honest. You more than anyone can give a sense of warmth, of definitely confidence, but a different sort of confidence than Aries, which is more headstrong, just leading from the front. This is a more regal, powerful sense of confidence. I can see Leo, this is your time to step up into a leadership position, I think. But if we sort of compare that to something like Capricorn, which is a more dutiful and responsible sense of leadership, I think Leo, you are leading where you're inspiring, where you're given a sense of levity as well. I think if we're in a period of quite intensity, how can you elevate things? How can you bring in that divine sense of humor that is always permeating our realm? How can you embody that? How can you, be a bit playful, or even be a bit naughty if that is what is needed at that time? That is your role, Leo, and you have that power, that authority, that charisma to pull it off, even or especially during times when the lights might go out, figuratively or literally. So this fire energy, but rather than Aries, which is cardinal, which is starting things, that consolidating, that fixed fire of consolidating power, but still with leadership qualities, still with confidence, still with surety. But then balancing that with lightheartedness, with laughter, with comedy, with play. I think this is going to be a very creatively potent time for Leo as well. So really lean into that and bring these brighter, lighter, enjoyable things of life back into the world if it might feel like they've been suddenly unilluminated or put in the shadow.
Leo, you are finding your way towards a better foundation in this world. There's some healing that's happening that the eclipse is doing over your finances, over how you relate to even your health, what the food is that you're putting in your body. Your relationship to Earth is shifting, right? This 5D ascension energy is causing you to really commune with the Mother Earth. So I encourage you, spend some time in nature. I want you to pray to the Mother. Ask her that you need to be where you need to be. Look up an intentional community as a possibility. This king is full of a bountiful harvest in harmony with the earth, in harmony with the cycles. So this is the place, Leo, that the universe is making you more grounded with this eclipse. It's illuminating how you've been using your money. Maybe some of the companies you have invested stocks in, maybe they actually hurt the earth. Maybe how you're using the money or the current systems that you're a part of aren't best for everyone, and the universe wants to cause you to reconsider these things. It wants you to think about generosity as a planetary thing. How does it affect the planet? And it wants you to transcend just me, myself, and I to a we energy, because you are very pow, you are very me, and it's beautiful. We love to see you shine. But now it's time for the earth to shine. So another aspect I want you to be careful is not to be too set in your ways, right? If the universe is presenting an opportunity to you, you need to take it. And I feel like some of you will be given that opportunity, and you guys will know what I'm talking about. Go and comment what that opportunity is. We read all of the comments. I need to hear it because we love to hear the answers. So Leo, if you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe to this channel. If you want some more one-on-one astrology and tarot reading with Isaac, every single month we will give you a reading. If you subscribe and pay to be one of our Patreon members, if you appreciate these, we also appreciate the likes, the comments, so we can continue to make very accurate, very powerful readings and other spiritualist content to help run this together, to spiritualize the earth, to be on that new earth ascension 5D timeline. So yeah.
So Virgo in a time of potential chaos and disorder, and when people's minds are occupied, when their heads are in the clouds, looking up instead of looking down. Virgo sits 6th house 5 of just doing what needs to be done. So operating in a in a position of humble service, of dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and doing what needs to be done. You know, people's heads are all over the place. The basic things, the everyday things that need to be done, stop getting done. And it's not a glamorous role to play, but it's necessary, and probably potentially the most necessary role that needs to be played, to sort of to keep the trains running, to do the things which need to be done, bringing things back to obligation, to ritual, even. So where can we find solace in everyday activities, being thorough and meticulous, but also very analytical. So again, ruled by Mercury here. So there might, with Mercury being in Aries, there's still a sense of confidence, of courage, of actively asserting ourselves, but probably doing that in a more humble and modest way, because that is what you at Virgo, you do best. You know, you can see what needs to be done very, very, very clearly, logically. Also bringing in a sense of style, and even a sense of grace into doing these things as well. So yeah, they're the main things I got. You know, operating in a very service-orientated mindset, humble, but also not giving yourself over. Still earth, still grounded, but yeah, allowing yourself to be flexible and mutable enough to do what needs to be done, to be flexible and adaptable. You know, analysing the situation, seeing what gaps need to be filled, what holes need to be plugged. Maybe Virgo, that's your role. During this time.
So Virgo, you got the Knight of Pentacles in reversed. So what's happening here? You have a lot of passion in the recent projects, the recent goals that you have. You have a lot of fire, but it's a little bit too much fire, a little too hasty. I would say that this eclipse is bringing up maybe some of the hidden motives, maybe some of the unnecessarily selfish motives, or the small-mindedness that's happening. And this is going to heal your finances. This is going to heal how you relate to Gaia, how you relate to Mother Earth. As you look inward, that's what it's going to unearth. So situations where your finances haven't been used where it needed to be, this is going to bring up some of those negative circumstances for you so that you can heal. The universe reveals so it can heal you, right? So you can heal yourself. I want to challenge you. Reflect upon where your energy is going, your energy exchange. I want you to reflect upon, maybe you need to put more passion. Maybe you need to find what you're passionate about. What is the inspiration that you need to be directed towards? Maybe you've tried so many things and been disappointed, and you need a change of scenery. You need to try something new so that you can let in a lot of those graceful energies, because maybe you've been too weighed down by just focusing on finances. Expand your horizon. Maybe take some sacred plant medicines of some kind, and in a safe place in nature. And I want you to comment what resonated with you from our Astrology and Tarot for You, Virgo. So we really appreciate you stopping by out of your very busy schedule. And we want to ask you to subscribe for more powerful content of understanding where you're at in the season, in the cosmos, in the heavens. And if you'd like something more one-on-one, where we look at your chart and find where are you here on Earth, what's happening, what is the season you're in, please become a Patreon member. And I recommend the Merkaba reading, or you can try Pollux and Castor. You get a reading every single month by becoming one of the tiers, and it helps support us to continue to help the YouTube community spiritualize and bring about this 5D ascension timeline where humans are in touch with their soul, with their self-knowledge, and the ancient wisdom of astrology is being brought deeper than just horoscopes, deeper than all of this. We want you to be a part of our spiritual family. So have a beautiful rest of your day or night. Thank you for stopping by, Virgo. We love you.
So this eclipse will be happening in Aries, in tropical Aries. So that means we're activating, we have activated the Aries Libra polarity or axis, I guess. So Libra is always about balance, always about harmony. That's why it's the scales. It seeks to find what is just, what is right, what can balance out or harmonize the excesses of something. You know, bringing in a counterpoint to something, which bring things back to where it should be. And so Libra, you always have that. You are always playing that role, but in particular, this might be one of the most important times to be playing that role in an astrological sense, when we have a very intense total solar eclipse in Aries. So there's going to be a highly focused sort of celestial energy in Aries, which will be about fire, you know, which is this fiery energy, cardinal thing. A lot of things happening, a lot of things being instigated, a lot of things being heightened, people acting in very, very strong, bold, courageous, yes, but potentially over the top ways. That is the, you know, that will be the nature of an eclipse in Aries. And so Libra, how can you give yourself over to the other side of the scales? How can you embody the role of the counterpoint, of stability, of harmonizing things that seem in polarity, that seem dichotomous, that seem at odds with each other? How can you show that how can you show that polarity is not being opposed to something, but is being in balance with something? That you need two ends of a spectrum. You need two ends of an electrical polarity for something to work, for things to flow, for things to be activated. How can you play that role? So what is just? What is just in this situation? What is moral? What is necessary, even if it might not be popular? These are some of the things, because it is an air sign. So air is always intellectual, always rational, impartial, I think. So being very objective in how you view events, and how you view social situations, in how you view even geopolitical developments. How can you be very detached and objective and impartial about assessing those things, and then forming that counterpoint, bringing in that balance, finding that underlying harmony. Very relationship focused, so definitely you'll be playing that role in interpersonal relationships. Your own, yes, but potentially also embodying, you know, and finding ways to balance what might be over-polarized relationships that you see around you. So yeah, but Libra is also, you know, there's similar to Libra, there's that grace in how you go about things, you know. So don't be afraid to sort of be stylish, to find an aesthetic, bring in an aesthetically minded energy to work to how you do these things, and just embodying harmony, you know, peace, a sense of peace, bringing a sense of peace to things if it does seem like there is conflict, there is disharmony. So yeah, this is an incredibly important time for you, Libra. It's almost like you've been given this role to provide the balancing, to negotiate this balancing act, all these heightened energies that are going on at the moment.
So, Libra, you are in the womb of the mother. You are experiencing an upside downing, an unearthing, you know, a revivifying of the things that you have manifested. They are coming to the surface. You're being awakened to these deep energies that you have laid a foundation for in your subconscious and your conscious. They are coming to the forefront of your mind. I see there's so much about these foundations that you've laid that you do not know, that you are going to unearth, and you're going to lay the foundations with every single. So you need to pay attention How are you manifesting? How are you laying the foundation? How are you creating? This is heavy. This is Saturn in the 10th house, Saturn in the house of Saturn, right? Capricorn in the house of Saturn. You are establishing something great with this time, but it's going to feel, progress for you is going to feel like regress in this time. Libra, I want you to focus. What are you manifesting? Go sit by a tree for 8 hours. Fast. Don't drink food, don't drink water, 8 hours if you're healthy, if you're able to do that. Sit and reflect and ask, what am I manifesting? What is my foundation? The wisdom from the void will come to you. Empty your mind, clear yourself. This is for you. You're able to manifest what you want in the womb of the void of darkness. Also, listen to the mother. Harmonize to Gaia and Mother Earth. This community that we're building here on YouTube and on Patreon is about spiritualizing the earth, bringing people to harmonize with the mother, to become more conscious, more intentional with our lives. So if this has resonated with you, please give this video a like, give it a subscribe. If you would appreciate some more in-depth, powerful astrology and tarot from me and Isaac, please go and become one of the tier memberships in our Patreon. And we want to hear what resonated with you from our astrology and tarot for you. Libra, go and comment immediately. Do it right now. It really does a lot to help us continue to make content that will spiritualize the earth. Join our community of misfits and mystics and magical creatures, right? We're all either coming into an abyss experience or we're leaving the abyss. So let's do this together. The world, they want to separate us. We need to unite. We need to unite under our truth, who we're becoming, and really unite in our individuality. So that's my message that we channeled for you. Libra, thank you for joining this. We really appreciate you. So
now we get to Scorpio. Fixed water. Not an intuitively easy combination. Fixed water. Emotional. So, we can see stubborn emotions sometimes, deep emotions. So there is definitely a tendency in a potential period of disruption, of chaos, of when things might be suddenly being revealed that we didn't know were there before. Scorpio would like to lead. Scorpio, you want to lean into that. You want to actually explore these energies when they come up. You leaning into disruption when portals might seem to be opening to meet them, to look at them, to not look away. I'm not saying you should be looking into the eclipse, because that's not recommended, but when other people might be afraid or scared or feel like they need to step back or divert their minds elsewhere, I see Scorpio as someone who isn't going to look away and wants to fully get to the bottom and understand these events, why these events have occurred. What is the deeper meaning of a solar eclipse? What is the deeper meaning of a solar eclipse exactly conjunct Chiron? Scorpio is about healing. Scorpio is about transformation. Its ruler its modern ruler is Pluto, and so it is about transformation. It is about using periods of crisis, of disruption, and using them as profoundly transformative. The caterpillar turning into the butterfly, and there may be fewer, more potent astrological events for leaning into this transformative, power through crisis. These sort of plutonic opportunities that most people will shy away from. Scorpio says, I see this, I meet this, I want to I want to get to the bottom of this situation. Very reliant on relationships during this time, I think. How can you feel the emotional landscape of this time, not get sucked in? Again, fixed water still standing your ground, but allowing the emotional intensity of this situation to wash over you, and to resonate with it, and to use it to fuel a personal transformation, and then to show how this moment can be a period of profound transformation through healing. We can't forget about how much of a Chiron event this eclipse is, not just conjunct to the degree, but conjunct almost to the minute. So it couldn't be much more conjunct. So healing is definitely the word here for Scorpio, but through transformation, but through an intense experience of this moment, not shying away from it, meeting it where it is. Yes.
You've been very, very confident, Scorpio. You have been finding a swiftness in your life that has been a little bit too swift. You're being revealed the places that you're moving too quickly. This is that Mercury in Sagittarius. This is the Archer with this swiftness of Mercury happening. You are a lightning bolt happening. This is a very powerful, mutable fire energy. This is fire that is moving quickly. You are thinking about different traveling. You are thinking about different inspirations that can come to you. You've got a lot of them. You've got a lot of life force. And what's happening is the very thing that's creating that swiftness in the mind that's maybe a little bit too unstable. This eclipse is bringing up the healing from all of that hastiness. And you're going to actually develop patience in and around this eclipse and afterwards. You're going to be slowed down to an extent so you can speed up. This is an interesting pattern that's happening for you, Scorpio. You are escaping the different levels of hastiness that you've self-sabotaged yourself and coming into a greater level of effectiveness in whatever you're doing. So I encourage you, develop some chanting. I want you to look up a mantra to chant online. That's going to develop some of your patience. I want you to focus your consciousness equally around everything aware you, and just focus on the breath and just sit there, right? This is going to help you center yourself. This is very unstable energy here, right? This is mutable fire. So this is almost like fire that's like water, right? So Scorpio, if you resonated with this content, subscribe, like, tell us what stood out to you in the reading. Come back to this video after the eclipse, and about a month after the eclipse as well. Tell us what happened. Tell us about where you resonated most with this. The comments is your diary. So Scorpio, we want to encourage you also, if you want some one-on-one readings with Isaac and I, become a member from one of the tiers in our Patreon and get some one-on-one readings, some hands-on help. Join our spiritual community. We want it to help with that ascension and new earth timeline and help harmonize with the divine mother Gaia, right? And divine mother in ourselves, and bring about a transformation in the collective. So thank you, Scorpio. Have a beautiful day or night. Continue to bring about your dreams and heal from every bit of hastiness.
To Sagittarius, you're always aiming high. The archer's bow is pointed towards the heavens, towards the galactic center, towards the spiritual cosmic portal, which comes into our realm. So naturally we're looking upwards. Naturally we're seeking to understand the heavens, to understand things from a spiritual perspective. Very very philosophical in how we go about things. And when there's a lot happening, we can be sucked into the material, we can be sucked into the everyday, the worldly concerns, those more second house and then third house concerns of what's around us, what's happening in our immediate fishbowl environment. But when all these things are going on, we need to find this deeper meaning. We need this greater spiritual, even religious context to understand things as they're happening. And I see Sagittarius as playing that role of the philosopher, even during this time. Jupiter, ruler Jupiter, we know that there's optimism and hope always to be found. Embodying this optimism, embodying this higher-minded, cosmic sense of hope, that everything, that even, the darker things get, the closer we are to a dawn, the closer we are to an awakening, the closer we are to profoundly spiritual revelations even. Can you be a channel for these revelations during this time? Can you channel the cosmic higher wisdom of a period of disruption, of change, of temporary sort of temporary disruption to the natural order of things? How can you bring a sense of adventure to these times? If people sort of want to stay in their homes, don't want to sort of move around too far, how can you encourage people to keep having their horizons broadened, bring a sense of adventure, taking chances, taking spiritually minded risks even? They're doing it from a sense of adventure and of enlightenment.
So Sagittarius, welcome to Lugal's world. Today, this is the card that you got for this solar eclipse. What's happening? This is the Temperance card. You're being able to see how she has one foot on land and one foot on water. You're merging the sun and the moon. You're merging the emotions. You're moving your subconscious energies with what you can see. You're bridging the gap between the seen and the unseen. You're moving into that place of the truest archetype of what a Sagittarius is. This card is embodied with Sagittarius energy, right? You are actually doubling down on all those Sagittarian energies and zooming into the place of unifying the opposites. You're going to be healed in the places where you've had a lack of self-control or addiction. You're overcoming it. You're stepping through, and this eclipse is bringing all of the darkness from that up. And I know it's so difficult, but it's revealing so you can heal, so you can process through it. If you need to go be part of a medicine ceremony, if you need to meditate the whole day at a tree, do it. Because when we heal ourselves, we're actually healing the whole world. We're transforming the whole world. You're really being called to ascend like the angel with the wings. You're being called into this 5D ascension timeline, the new earth. And this is why we make these videos, to spiritualize people, help them understand themselves, right? If you have resonated with this Sagittarius, we want you to leave your comments about the reading. What has resonated with you? What do you see happening for yourself during or after or before this eclipse? We want you to subscribe, like, so you can continue to get this powerful, self-enlightening content. If you want a more specific one-on-one astrology tarot reading with Isaac and I, become a tier member of our Patreon, as well as share this video. If you have anyone who you know with the 12 signs, I know you do, share this video immediately and help people realize and become more spiritual and harmonize with that energy. Because what we do internally, it's resounding out, it's rippling out throughout our entire collective. It really does make a difference. We really thank you for joining this reading. about the eclipse, and stay tuned for more. Check out the other spiritual content that we've created where you can understand the mysteries of the universe. So, peace.
So Capricorn, we're now at the final Earth sign. So where these earthy qualities of groundedness, of stability, of connection to what stabilizes, what binds, what secures us. And now we see it take on an air of duty, of responsibility, of focusing on the future, looking forward, being very disciplined in looking forward, in doing what is needed. So again, similar to Virgo, we have this sense of doing what might not be popular, but what is absolutely necessary. But in Capricorn, the stakes might seem like they're a bit higher, or they're more in the public eye, rather than behind the scenes, taking on a more modest, humble, sort of sixth house Virgo role. Now it's more. There's a sense of reputational. It is now to do with how we're seen in the public light, how we step up, how we move beyond what we thought we were capable of in terms of doing things that need to be done, in terms of exercising power, in terms of making decisions which might not have seemed reasonable or even fair previously, might now suddenly need to be made, and need to be made with assertiveness and authority. We have Saturn now coming into play at this stage of the cycle, of the zodiacal cycle now. So Saturn is making his presence very much felt. And in Capricorn, it is as a authority figure. So when the lights go out, when a sense of chaos might start to permeate, how can you bring authority back into the picture? A sense of presence, an adversarial force to what is going on. But when we say adversarial might need to take its cues still from what is around it. So some sort of flexibility, but we have a cardinal energy here. So taking initiative in terms of duty and responsibility, and stepping up to the plate. It doesn't have to be popular. Being in the public eye, having a reputation doesn't mean you have a popular reputation. It doesn't mean you have to do things which are provocatively unpopular, but it means doing what is maybe necessarily provocative or necessarily at odds with the prevailing sentiment, and standing against that and saying, no, this is what needs to be done now. We need to have a sense of discipline, and discipline, patience, bringing these qualities, embodying these qualities, and always turning things back to what is needed in the future. To not looking back, not sort of getting stuck in things, but still moving things forward to where they need to be, and keeping that front of mind.
Hello, Capricorn. Welcome. This is how the eclipse is affecting you. This is very powerful information for you going forward. This is telling me you are at the precipice. You see kind of the morals of those around you collapsing. You see that the stench of war is in the air in your life, publicly, privately. There's maybe some attacks on your reputation that are happening. I want you to take a moment and breathe. Understand why this is happening. So the hexagram for this card, the Five of Swords, is the 49th hexagram of the I Ching. This is Taoist wisdom for you. And I feel called to share this information. This is the only sign thus far that I have felt called to share the hexagram from the I Ching. So when an honest attempt has been made to bring about reforms, but these efforts have proven futile, revolutionary change becomes necessary before attempting to institute sweeping changes. Take time to visualize in some detail what outcome you hope to achieve. Only by clearly perceiving the nature of a desired goal can the goal ever be achieved. Initiating action at this time could bring negative results. Even when change seems very necessary, it is not skillful to proceed with haste or ruthlessness, as that it could invite disaster. Even though not every demand for change should be heeded, an opposite error lies in excessive hesitation, which is not also advisable. Repeat the well-founded complaints should not fail to get a hearing. Examine and consider the situation thoroughly. Timing is especially important. Do not be led astray. You are on the bridge of a revolution in your own life and in the collective. This is some powerful Aquarian energy. Wow, you are being overthrown so you can find another throne. You're finding another throne in a totally new situation in your life, because the things are crumbling around you in certain aspects of your life. But no, with that change, some new thrones, some new places for you to sit will be created out of this. So this eclipse is going to be an upheaval in your life personally, privately, and many different things. For more information, please check out the 49th hexagram of I Ching. You can read it entirely. As well, if you want some more one-on-one readings regarding how the eclipse is affecting you in general, please subscribe to our, become a member, subscribe to our channel, become a member of our Patreon, become one of our tiers, and get a monthly reading for both Isaac and I. We really appreciate you, Capricorn, for spending some of your valuable time with both of us. We want to continue to help you to spiritualize yourself and heal yourself so that we can bring this level of higher consciousness to the earth at this time, the 5D timeline, right? So let's take a moment and leave a comment right now. How did this reading affect you? What's resonating? It's really good to reflect. I want to encourage you that the comment section is your diary. Remember to like and share this video with your friends. We really appreciate you being part of this spiritual community and continuing to work and heal yourself, because you are healing, every single one of us. And go and make your revolution happen. This is the time. Now is the time. Don't wait. Peace. Thank you, Capricorn.
So, Aquarius, the second last sign, our last contribution to the collective. How does an Aquarian respond to a time of disruption, when a chaotic vibe might be permeating, when people might seem like they're losing their minds slightly? Aquarius, we have a unique role in the collective, and unique is something that the Aquarius archetype always embodies, always resonates, always puts out into the world. A quirkiness, a sense of contrarianism as well. You know, contrasting, providing contrast to the prevailing way of doing things. You know, social conventions which are accepted, which might need to be progressed or directed in a more liberating direction. These are all things you as an Aquarius are naturally inclined to do. And so how do you step up? What role do you play when things might somewhat look like they're going to shit, or we have this sort of this disruption to the natural order? How do you play? I see Aquarius fundamentally as acting from a position detached from the collective, but acting within the collective to move us forward in a progressive direction, bringing in a sense of humanitarianism. So what is your chosen mode of working altruistically within the community? You know, the social endeavor that you work best in, not losing sight of that, not losing sight of your broader enduring legacy as we move through potential times of disruption and a sense of chaos. So, you know, Aquarius fixed. There's still that fixed energy behind it, even though it's there, even though there's intellect. There's inventiveness, so thinking outside of the box, bringing in fresh ideas, but taking things, there's this natural revolutionary tendency that might need to be just checked and brought back into balance, but bringing in that Saturnian, so we have this Saturnian Uranian dynamic with Aquarius going on, needing to move towards a more liberative, freedom-orientated place, progressing things forward. But Saturn also brings in discipline and a sense of restriction and a sense of almost sternness to the situation. So I see Aquarius as just bringing things back to what moves us forward in a positive direction, and not getting caught up, staying in that detached position from what the collective vibe is, from what the collective energy is, not getting caught up in that, but also playing that Saturnian role of contrast, slightly adversarial, but more in the background rather than Capricorn. Capricorn likes to take on positions of responsibility and very visible in the public, whereas Aquarius will do it more, underground, even more behind the scenes. That's where Aquarius works best. So bring in a sense of humility, bringing things back, playing that 11th house, 5th house polarity of what is good for the collective, what is good for the greater, what is the greater good, what is needed for the greater good at this time, and doing what needs to be done, working within the collective, going within different social groups, sharing information in the same way that a Gemini would, that transient sort of movability, going between sort of sharing information, but doing it with that Saturnian sense of sternness and what needs to be done to move us forward in a positive direction.
Beautiful, Isaac. Aquarius is the Emperor. So what's happening here? We have some daddy energy. I see you, Aquarius. Let me tell you what's happening with this eclipse. You're Aquarius. This age we're going into is Aquarius. It's not a coincidence. Look at the places where you can help people, help them, create that business, create that thing. Go and take your masculine force and make it happen, right? This eclipse is bringing out the places where you have been stopped in your tracks, so you can go and bring in this new epoch. This is 2,000 years. We're bringing it here as the aspects of the Piscean systems are becoming destroyed. You are going to rise up from the ashes and take your authority as an Aquarius, right? This is the Ascension 5D timeline that is happening. I feel very called. I'm channeling a story from very ancient times, the story of the Minotaur. Here's a lesson for you, Aquarius, when you step into your power. What's happening is, with the Minotaur, he was given from God, the divine, the gods, he was given this beautiful, beautiful animal, this beautiful white bull. And he was supposed to dedicate it. He was supposed to sacrifice it for the people, to the divine. But instead he kept it and he replaced it with a bull from his own stable and painted it white, right? That actual bull mated with one of his, it was either his wife or his daughter, and it gave birth to the Minotaur, which then ate his subjects, ate humans. They fed it humans, and they created the labyrinth for it. There is something to be said about looking in your life as this eclipse brings up, what is my relationship to power? What is my manifestation regarding my power? What's happening here? Because you're being able to transcend your own selfish desires to help and impact the whole world. Your selfish desires are beautiful, but you have to transform them, transmute them into what will be great for the collective. And so you're doing and helping everyone as you heal yourself. Aquarius, if you resonated with this reading and stepping into your power, subscribe, leave a comment. How did this sit with you? We really encourage you, if you want to have some more one-on-one tarot and astrology from Isaac and I, become a tier become a tier member of our Patreon. Subscribe, like, share this video. Help us spiritualize and help people ascend and go on the new Earth timeline. We really appreciate you stopping by of all of your time to be here with us. We read every single comment. The comment is your diary. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day or night, Aquarius.
What is the role of a Pisces? A Pisces in a time of change, of disruption, even of chaos. I think there's no archetype better equipped to deal with these times of heightened energy, of what seems like things coming to, what might seem like things coming to an end, or a movement from one cycle to the next, from one age to the next. We have a lot of this energy going on right now, which seems to be syncing up with this eclipse, and that is where Pisces is. It is the last sign of the Zodiac. It leads to the 12th house, which is where we find concepts like isolation, retreat, endings, interactions with the unseen realm. It might be supernatural, it might be psychic experiences. So firstly, I'd say to be mindful that these energies, these sort of any connections that you have with entities, with beings, with the supernatural realm, quite likely will become heightened at this time. And I say that because we do have an incredible amount of planetary energy in Pisces. So while this eclipse tropically will be occurring in Aries, we actually have this whole string of planets within the constellation, within the sidereal constellation of Pisces. So that's all the way from Neptune it will be Venus, Neptune, Venus, and then the stellium around the eclipse, which will be Sun, Moon, and Chiron, and then also Mercury as well. All these planets will actually be in the sign of the fish, up in the sky. So archetypally, this is a Pisces event if we're looking at the sky from a sidereal perspective. And so those deep archetypes that are activated are Piscean archetypes. So if you have sidereal placements in particular, you will be feeling this in a very deeply resonant way. It's almost like these events were made for you to feel, to experience, because Pisces does experience things, because it has that ultimate detachment and removal from the collective. It almost becomes about experience. That's what life is. It's soaking in the emotions, the chaos, the polarities that have been formed between people, the oppositions, the squares, these senses of these frictions and these tensions, these spot fires that are going on. Pisces sees them and takes them in, washing over this mutable water energy, experiencing these heightened emotions, but not getting stuck within them like a Scorpio might. Just to sort of be that spiritual receiver, perhaps, across these times. Highly empathetic, bring on that empathy. I think we've had, speaking as a Pisces myself, there were periods of almost initiation into this ability to find empathy and compassion, almost like potential extremes of empathy and compassion when people are acting in quite bizarre, sometimes irrational, even destructive ways. And how can we still bring in this Piscean sense of compassion and empathy? So that's going to be incredibly important for you to play this role across this time. But Pisces is sort of the cosmic fool or joker, even, I think, because it has that detachment from the worldly affairs. It can elevate things. It can almost bring in this sort of like troll-like vibe to things, to just make us take the world a bit less seriously, to see this cosmic sense of humor behind things, and in that way that everything is connected, that there is a meaning for these things. It might not become readily apparent or obvious, but by becoming detached and but just allowing the intensity of things to just wash over us and not get caught up in us, we start to see that broader cosmic vision or plan emerge. And so Pisces, that is what you're revealing that cosmic storyline that is underlying everything, this Shakespearean drama and tragedy, but ultimately sort of archetypal triumph in the end. I see that as your role. So yes, find your place of retreat or your safe space to watch this unfold if you need to, but be ready to experience this in its fullest, but then let it go, and then through that detachment, show the story, show the drama, bring that drama out, and allow other people to find that perspective as well.
Hello, Pisces. So this came out, the Empress in reversed. So what we have going on, you're dealing with some of your darker feminine sides. You're dealing with Lilith. You're dealing with the Black Madonna. And this eclipse is bringing those to a surface. Maybe you have too much indulgence. Maybe you have this unprocessed repression of your feminine side. It is being unearthed. You're seeing it. It's coming to the surface. Be prepared to heal. Drink your water. Get out the sage. Go and book a silent retreat or something before and after this eclipse. Like, get your healing work in order, because you're healing all of our energies of the feminine. This is some heavy feminine energy happening. This is the dark side of the moon, right? This is your Venusian energy that needs to be healed is being brought up, so it can manifest as the more angelic, the more divine Aphrodite energy. So I want you to think about the females in your life. Think about the places, the things that you're nurturing. Are you feeding the right things? Are you feeding the things that you're buying, feeding the right place? Do you need to harmonize with Gaia more? Do you need to move to an intentional community? Do you need to be more conscious about what you're eating in your diet? You need to be careful not to overindulge at this time. So the eclipse is going to be surfacing in these negative aspects so that you can heal it. We have that aspect with Chiron. So Pisces, thank you for joining this eclipse reading. If you enjoyed this comment, leave a like, leave a comment in the description. Tell us, how has this affected you? If you want a more in-depth one-on-one reading, book Isaac and I through going to our Patreon, becoming a member. It's here. We can give you a personal, in-depth, both of us give you a reading. We really appreciate you for being here with us as we spiritualize the earth. This is a community that wishes to grow in our self-development, self-understanding, and encourage others in the spiritual progress to know the seasons, the times, what's happening all around us. Please don't hesitate to subscribe, be part of our community. We really appreciate that you stopped by and you took the time out of your day to participate in healing yourself with us and healing the collective. Have a beautiful day or night, Pisces. We love you. So Isaac, let's summarize. What do we feel like is some of the trends? What are we seeing with all these signs? What's the culmination of everyone? And we thank everyone who got to the end of the video here. We're really blessed and fortunate to have some viewers as great as you guys, some subscribers as great as you guys. So yeah, Isaac, these are the cool people. These are the magical little abyss creatures that, like, I'm gonna check out the end of the video. What's happening here? So Isaac, give them a gemstone that they can take and put in their little heart going forward with the eclipse, and something that they can remember way after the eclipse is done, and reflect on that for all signs, for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like with this eclipse and this new moon conjunction, so exactly conjunct Chiron, it's like we have this opportunity to heal or to bring out the best, to transmute all the negative energy which might be associated with every sign, with all the zodiac signs. It's like this is a moment of healing. If you're an Aries, you're healing as an Aries, but you're healing the Aries archetype. You're moving it forward. You're shifted away from some of these more traumatic significations or associations that we have with it, and moving it away from that and moving it forward. And starting to embody the essence of these signs, and why these archetypes have stood the test of time, and resonate so much with humanity, and have become so essential to structure our lives, to find meaning in life. It's almost like when we have a Cazimi in astrology, it's like all the noise is stripped away from that planet, which is conjunct the sun, and we just see it in its starkest, most exposed, almost illuminated form. And so if we apply that now to Chiron, it's like we get this stark energy of the wounded healer just manifesting in the world. And every celestial archetype is activated. It's focused. It's intensified. That's what an eclipse does. It just brings this nodal moon energy of something fatedness almost coming in. And so it's almost like the perfect time to lean into these archetypes, to manifest them in their purest, most forward-looking, healing form, and to use this eclipse as a catalyst to heal that archetype and to bring about its most positive manifestation into the world, into society, into humanity.
Thank you, Isaac. Wow. So everyone, this is for all signs. What's amazing with this eclipse, we have that powerful Chiron aspect that's happening. I got the card of the wounded healer here, the hanged man of Odin, and I want to read the powerful words. I know that as I hung upon a wind-swept tree, 9 full nights, spear wounded, and given to Odin, myself to myself upon that tree, which nobody knows from what roots it rises. I want to encourage every single one of you, go and find and watch The Fountain, the movie The Fountain, where it shows 3 periods, Mayan, present day, and 500 years in the future, where it is the myth, the energy of the father that died, birthed the universe. This is the Mayan myth, right? This is the Christian myth, and this is the future of the human race. This is a very powerful energy. You're going to see it in yourself, how you are part of this transformation happening in the human race, bringing the enlightenment and the awakening to all souls. You watching are part of this energy. So go sit by a tree, dedicate yourself, fast, if your health permits, just not even water, just a whole day, no food, no water. Sit by the tree as Odin did, and let the spiritual energies penetrate all of this programming, all of the lives from this generation, and be rejuvenated. Now is the time to step up and heal the collective. We're all doing this together. Give thanks for where you've already come. You are in a place of a new perspective. You are overcoming all the things of this world, and you're stepping into the future, the new earth. You can feel this energy. And if you want to support the work that we're doing to spiritualize the earth and bring understanding, subscribe, comment how you related to especially this last part, and let the comments be your diary. Let it encourage those who read it. We appreciate and read every comment, and become a member of our Patreon if you want to unite together with a spiritual community. We're thinking about making a Discord that's only available to Patreon members, where you can really meet spiritual, like-minded people. So if you enjoyed this video, please share it, get the word out. We appreciate each and every one of you who stopped by, especially you super special abyss creatures who waited till the very end of this video. We thank you. You know, and comment when you watch The Fountain. Tell me what you thought about this movie. That is one of my favorite. You can even take some plant medicines. It's so powerful. You can meditate before you're watching it. It is such a amazing download of the more mystical side. There's very few movies like that. So yeah, peace everyone.